You're listening to Maximum Medicine Radio with host Doc Martin. Stay tuned in or call in. You won't want to miss what's happening next. How do you step into your maximum potential? How do you connect your spiritual drive with your physical path? Stick around as Doc Martin takes listeners on a journey through the seen and unseen, the accepted and the unbelievable. Get ready to meet the maximum you the world needs on Maximum Medicine Radio with Doc Martin now. Dr. Pat, we're here.
We are here and we are amazing. I got to tell you, let's give the audience, Sharon, if we could, a little bit of a backdrop as to why this show was important and how it came to you, because it really all circles around into what you do, sacred medicine, maximum medicine, and what you are bringing forth in the world. But it has an interesting backdrop. And I don't know how many of us have not been shocked by recent headlines, but we have a forgetter. So it's very easy for us to forget some of the images, right? But for you, this is really a personal gift you're bringing forward, right?
Right. So let's first do specifics, and then I want to bring out to generalities. Every day, the news in the world, particularly about Ukraine, is so distressing. It's heartbreaking. And anger producing, and helplessness feeling, and just worries, for me anyway, worries about the evil and the dark forces in the world. But then I started, and this is where we get a little more general, because in medicine, and I work in a rural medical clinic, in actual medical diagnoses, there are things that feel helpless, that make you angry, that are distressing when you're given a diagnosis or you're struggling with a daily medical condition. And believe me, I'm not saying that a daily medical condition is at the same level as Ukraine, because I'm not.
Right.
But what I am forced to fall back on or step more fully into is my training in shamanic and energy medicine, which is really a spiritual approach to problems in the world. And I asked myself, when I first started doing this radio show on Maximum Medicine, what is the whole point of Maximum Medicine? The whole point is that we are more than something bad that happens to us, and that there are powers out there and powers inside ourselves. And truthfully, what's inside ourselves is not different from what's out there in the universe. In fact, we are mirrors of what's happening in the universe. So to me, maximum medicine is tapping into that greater power for a solution. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with our thinking. It has nothing to do with what's in our heads. Truthfully, it has nothing to do with the human condition at all. It is about tapping into the bigger forces. And Ukraine takes us tapping into the biggest of all, interuniversal, bigger than even our galaxy. So when I think about maximum medicine, and I wanted to do this show tonight to bring some of that conceptually to a prayer for Ukraine. But maximum medicine is more than pills. It's more than changing your diet. It's more than exercise. Medicine is what makes you better, what heals you, and maybe doesn't cure you, but it heals you. So your function is better, your body, your mind, and your spirit are better. And with your regard to Ukraine, our spirit needs to be better because we are heartbroken. So this is kind of talking about what I do on a regular day-to-day basis about bringing in the maximum concepts to try to make a difference of bad situations, but really using that for us to join with spirit in what I call a holy vortex, to put our prayers, put our heart energy, put all of our surrender to the forces bigger than ourselves. And that extends even to actual medical conditions. Sometimes you have to surrender to something bigger than yourself because you cannot do it yourself. And in the situation in Ukraine, I have no control. Most people have no control, but collectively, when we engage spirit, we have a whole lot of power.
Yeah.
So maximum medicine to me is about tapping into the power. And we're going to use, well, no, we're not going to use Ukraine as an example. We're going to help to heal the situation in Ukraine. And remember that everything we talk about tonight is applicable to any challenge
Yep.
in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know why I love talking about this? And I love the reason that we are going to talk about it is because we have abandoned our power as individuals to use our healing power. And what I mean by we have abandoned it, I'm not saying that there aren't groups out there, Sharon, that have had prayer circles, that have had chants. But as a country, there has been so much to heal. And it's almost as if we need a campaign to initiate a rememberer, right, of what it means to heal and pray. Because the absence of that, what did you call it? Dark evil in the world. There's so much at this point. And powerlessness is the step before complacency. See, if you don't think that you can have a part in your own healing, in your own world, in the world at large, if you're at this place where you are helpless / then hopeless, we want to remind people they're not, that this sacred medicine that you're talking about and bringing forward, the intention field studies has already proven it. Science has proven it. There's so many things that have proven it. So what is it going to take to get the millions off of their seats and come out and say, I am going to be concerned now? And I think you're starting it. This has to be the way we start. 2 people on a show talking about it and then doing a blessing, which will send to a parliamentary member, Uras, will send to people, will send out, right?
So I think the other thing is, and what we have to be very, very wary of, we have to guard our independent thinking and our connection to spirit, because we are being told by media more and more ways to brainwash us and steer us into thinking things that certain people, groups want us to believe. And we have to be very careful, because that feeds our powerlessness, that feeds our helplessness. And then we cave, then we just give up. And I'm here to tell you, you can tap in to bigger cheeses than anything human existence on this planet and have a beneficial effect. So I really want that to be the message. And the secondary, very important, is to let all of us gather our thoughts and open our hearts to Ukraine and call in the big cheeses, so we can shift this.
And, part of this too, Sharon, if you would touch upon it, is what sacred medicine has the potentiality to do. And what I mean by that is we have thousands of years of examples. We have thousands of years of examples. And humanity is so capable of destruction as well as construction.
Right.
And yet, this is our invitation and plea for people to choose to do something so simple as share this video later on today. It's really all we're asking, isn't it? Right?
Right. And we're asking to remember our potential. And there are, not only are there dark forces in the world, there are beneficial forces bigger than us. And we can connect with that, and we can get the benefits from that. And Pat, if there are people listening, I'd really like to hear the prayers for tapping into something for themselves, not just for Ukraine, but to the steps to regain power. Do you want to do that after we take a break?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, Jessica, why don't we take a short break? When we come back, we'd like to invite all of you. What are your thoughts? What's on your heart? I know that this is an interesting day to be asking this question, as so many of you are caught up in another headline, equally important. Not one more important than the other, but equally important, where the sacred blessing applies to all. But what if we could lead with our heart and our intuition? While so many people are angered, we can also take a step to get resolution. Let's take a short break, Jessica. We'll be right back.
I'm Doc Martin, Maximum Medicine. I'm here with Dr. Pat. Tonight is about learning where to place your deepest hopes and wishes when things around you look just plain wrong. We're focusing on the Ukraine tonight, but it can be anything in the headlines, anything personally, your argument with your teenage kid, whatever isn't going right, we can put that in the pot of the holy vortex connection to spirit tonight. We're going to do that at the end. We're going to have a dedicated segment. It's good so you can deepen in. And of course, please don't be driving when we deepen in. But Pat, Maximum Medicine is about going to that place of possibility, even the place of miracles, when things look just plain hopeless. Do you have thoughts?
I do. I mean, I think so many of us have had points in our lives where we've been down a court. And then there are some of us that couldn't even find the court, right? And, you know, a great metaphor that I went through over the weekend was, as this beautiful young woman was helping me cut the grass, I had to decide whether or not, if you put oil in the gas tank of a lawnmower, will it still work?
No.
And I thought to myself, what an interesting idea. What an interesting idea. You know, so often our parents have said to us, you know, Pat, oil and vinegar don't mix. But boy, when you do shake them up, they make a great dressing, don't they? And
you know, one thing you learn when you move to the country in 1999, having been a city girl all my life, you know, if you have a weed whacker, it takes a gas and oil mix. It's a 2-stroke engine, but not your lawnmower. Don't ruin the engine. So there are some times when you can't mix stuff. But let's take that back to medicine. For at least 50 years now, at least, maybe 100, Western medicine has gone so far into science that it really lost the connection our indigenous ancestors had of bringing spirit to the table, of bringing in our power in the spiritual realm. And that's what Western medicine ignored and what we've got to bring back. And that's why I call it maximum medicine, because it takes all the good of Western and then brings in what our indigenous medicine men and women knew, is how to tap into the forces of nature and spirit. And that's what we're going to do tonight, is we're going to remember how to really find some healing by using everything available to us and stepping out of anger, stepping out of despair, stepping out of that fury that we can get when things are just so wrong. And we got to call in the higher beings, the higher forces of nature to intercede. And that's what we're going to do tonight.
You know, Sharon, one of the things that is so important for us to look at too is that underneath this, there is a sacredness, and we're calling it sacred medicine. And, you know, the ancient ones, the ancestors, the indigenous people, they knew this. They knew this like as if it was breathing. You know, they knew this in a way that their civilizations survived and thrived for centuries. They knew this and they knew it worked, right? And, you know, I want to get back to what you said about maximum medicine, because, you know, we're talking about medicine that heals the heart, heals the soul, heals the mind, heals the body, right? It heals ancestry. It heals past lives. It heals what's in front of us, what's behind us, what's before us. It heals. We know it heals. So many cultures, so many religions call it prayer. Sacred medicine is prayer in so many other languages. Why do we know that? Because a lot of times, believe it or not, there's a certain structure to it. There's an energy that's in it. There's usually a reference to it. There's usually something that has come before. There's usually a belief or a belief philosophy or theology. There's usually things like that.
Well, I want to tell you a story.
Please do.
I'm in a spiritual community, well, quite frankly, that saved my spiritual life, my sense of my purpose in the world. And one of the things that we really work on getting back to is exactly what you said, what the indigenous, it was so in their body, in their skin, in their pores. They lived and breathed the connection to the earth and the stars. And that connection, those rhythms, the mineral, actual mineral, metallic, the atomic connection, they felt it, they breathed it, they walked it, they touched it, the land, and it literally impacted the life force running through them. And that was their medicine. That amplified their chi and restored it when it was ailing. Mm-hmm. And that connection is that holy vortex. And so we have to get back to that. That's what our indigenous ancestors, it was such a part of them that it couldn't have unfolded any other way. They just lived and breathed that relationship that we have in our technology. We've forgotten about it.
Yeah, we have forgotten about it. And what I love about what we're starting here is it's not that we don't know. I don't know about you, but I have been at some pretty dang low places in my life. And I will tell you, even at the most angry I was at my version of God, Jesus, Buddha, anybody, anyone that was like that higher power, anything, right? Except Mary and Mary Magdalene, they were my friends. But the rest of it, even at my worst, the angriest I was, when I was in a foxhole of my life, I dropped to my knees. See,
Mm-hmm.
we have so much here to be grateful about and so much to be angry about. And did you know you can be angry and grateful at the same time, although it's kind of difficult, right?
I
It's a
bet
little
you
bit
can.
difficult. Yeah. You can have both things going on. Let me use a different word, passionate. We have got to get our passion mojo back on, because once we do, we will get to see the bigger picture. You know, I don't know what past lives a person like Greta Thunberg has had, or
Mhm.
Malala Yousafzai. I don't know. I don't know if Greta, I think she must have popped out like that. Like, since I've been following her since like a little teeny Greta, fearless, passionate, committed, well spoken, respectful until you threatened her parents and her to kill them. And then she was still respectful in her response. This is a call for us in the world, but especially in the United States of America, to get their stand up for something mojo on. It is no longer a time of complacency. You didn't go, if you're thinking, I'm going to get on my high horse. A number of years ago, I created a website called I Pledge to Vote, because people were not voting. If you did not vote in this past election or any elections, and you don't like what you see, you don't like the way the Ukraine's being handled, you don't like what's just happening now in the headlines. Roe v. Wade isn't just about abortion. It's say goodbye to any rights that we're voting on. If you don't like that, you got to get off the couch. And we got to turn for that here. You got to bust through your own crust and get out there and feel something. You see, I'm not even telling you to do anything. I'm just saying, do you feel anything? Do you think the smart place to be is the foxhole of complacency? Because if you've ever been a foxhole and you are complacent, you will not see the enemy coming. But today, it's hopefully a way to help you get that passion juice going, right?
Right.
Feel something.
And let's aim for feeling peaceful despite
You got to aim for peace.
how horrible it looks.
You can be peaceful and still take action. Dalai Lama, right?
Right.
Just look at the people all over the world. Peaceful. Nelson Mandela, right? Gandhi, peaceful, but passionate. You can do both, but you have
Okay,
to do something.
Yes. But with caveat here, when we
Yes.
do this stone blessing, we aren't really going to be in passion. We're going to be in peace.
We're going to be in peace with compassion. See,
Okay,
passion and compassion are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine being compassionately peaceful. What the heck does that even feel like?
You're so
Well, you're going to get ready to show us, right?
We're going to do it. Yes.
All right.
So we're going to take a break. Now, everybody, please put down what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we come back, we're going to go into the place where we can turn this over and still make a difference, even though it feels like we're relinquishing control. And please don't be driving, because we are going to ask the higher beings to join us. And this is going to be a powerhouse of a stone blessing specifically for Ukraine, but it's applicable for any challenge you face.
And
So go ahead.
I want to give a shout out for a minute. Daniel and Jessica were so excited about this show that I don't know if you're even seeing it, but they created a beautiful new frame for how to present this TV version. You see, that's what we're talking about. It may seem insignificant, but to imagine people like a Daniel who's been with us 6 months, maybe, getting so engaged in creating something beautiful so this can reach the hearts of people. And Jessica stepping in to run this. I mean, you can't see it because you're not watching it, Sharon, but when you do, you will see that it does take a village, and that village has heart. Yep. Jessica, let's take us to break. When we come back, Sharon Martin, Dr. Sharon Martin, is going to take us through a very special sacred medicine stone blessing. Beautiful blessing. And please do not drive. Do not be using any kind of tool. Just take a few minutes. And if you've missed any part of it, we'll get it to you. We'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. I'm Doc Martin, Maximum Medicine. And this is a prayer for those things that hurt, that seem really wrong. And we're going to step into the holy vortex where possibilities are limitless and the potential for healing everything that's wrong exists. So I want you to just take a few nice breaths. Try to let go of all the thoughts of the day and try to step into your heart space. Just following your breath there, in and out, and letting your heart deepen. Coming to that place of connection, the place where your compassion expands. Through every breath, you're going to feel the life force. And feel it as you connect to the earth. Feel your heart connecting to the earth. And feel it as you connect to the stars. This connection is how we humans thrive. And this connection, guided by the sacred geometry and all the components of the earth and the stars, is where we will evolve. And this connection is where we can fix things. And I say we because this is where we're actually going to surrender to beings, to forces greater than us. And just find yourself gently with the breath going in and out at your heart space, tracking that connection, the connection of your heart to the earth and your heart to the stars. And the flowers in this blessing are to symbolize the Ukraine. And of note, they just had their Orthodox Easter. Most of the population, I believe, is Orthodox. And Christos von Kress, which is their greeting at Easter time. And feel our hearts open. Even if you want to track deeply, track into the petals, just watch yourself, take your awareness deep into the blue and the yellow, deepening, leaving behind all of the hurts, the disappointment, the despair. We're detaching from our need to control something that is way, way bigger than us. But we are surrendering it to the higher forces, benevolent forces that have been guiding our evolution in conjunction with the earth and the stars. Those forces have been guiding us for millions of years. So we're going to surrender back to them. And I want you to notice in the center this crystal, clump of crystals that I'm putting here to represent the high angelic realm, the higher beings, and a concept that I've been working with my spiritual group of the diamond matrix. So follow me as I take you on this visualization as we move to the place of infinite possibility. So allowing your awareness to travel from your heart, find yourself entering the crystal. Allow yourself to journey into this diamond shape, this beautiful facets. And as you travel with your energy body, as you find yourself deepening past the facets of the crystalline matrix, you can see ahead of you how the light has been scattered as a prism scatters. And where you went in as just one beautiful stream of white light, now you notice that your field has scattered into multiple colors, infinite frequencies within that white light. These infinite frequencies are possibilities that we may not have seen in our day-to-day life, but the possibilities that the forces of nature, the forces of inter-universal beings higher than our planet that have been guiding us for thousands, millions of years, they're allowing us to see that there is not just one way ahead. We're not just that one beam of light. When we hit the diamond matrix and our light gets scattered as a prism and our energy expands outward, and we notice that we are filled with multiple frequencies, every color of the rainbow and all of the subcolors in between. Each one of those colors is an energetic potential. So feeling yourself in the diamond crystalline matrix, open heart, surrendering to these higher forces. Allow yourself to feel being in the middle of great potential, being in the middle of vast, infinite possibilities of outcomes, and seeing that you can cast aside your worries, toss aside your despair, put away your fury, staying with compassionate heart wide open as you realize that for our evolution in Ukraine, in politics, in anything that feels wrong in the world and in your life, we have a diamond prism of potential. When we are sitting in that holy vortex of connection to the earth, connection to the stars, guided by spirit, our single beam of light, however ineffective it looks, gets prismed, I made that word up, prismed open to multiple frequencies and multiple destiny lines. Open your hearts. Surrender your worries. Allow the diamond crystalline matrix to blow your potential wide open and carry with it all of your wishes for the Ukraine, all of your wishes for the healing of suffering, all of your wishes for benevolent outcome. Step into the diamond matrix. Feel the expanse, feel the potential. When you sit in this vortex of earth and stars and human, guided by forces interuniversal, bigger than the galaxy, in spirit, feel that blow wide open. And just breathe here for a moment or two. Feel yourself in the matrix. Feel yourself, your light body, be prismed open. See how many colors you can actually inhabit. See these possibilities expanding out from you, 360 degrees around, above, below. Everywhere you turn is another path you can take. Remind yourself of the vast, infinite potential that you have, that we have, that the world has. Stay with your open heart. Prayers that everyone can expand into these diamond matrix prisms, that everyone can see another way, another possibility. And I want to just rest here for a few moments because this connection is critical for you to feel and step into. It is the new way to bring life force forward. One of the new ways. So just feel yourself riding on those beautiful rainbow beams, all of the colors, places to go that you never even thought were possible. And holding that there just a few more moments. See it, feel it, sense it. This is the restoration of the indigenous way. Human, earth, stars. And now gently bringing your awareness specifically, open heart, don't leave the matrix, but specifically open your heart and see the prism of light ride over Eastern Europe. See it ride over the Ukraine, ride over Russia. Let's even let it ride over China and Taiwan. See the prisms of possibility as the light beams dance over all the places on the earth. reminding us that there are other ways, that we have possibilities. Open heart. Prayers for the Ukraine, for the world, for our political ongoings, and prayers for yourself. Allow that prismed light of your energy field that you felt in the diamond matrix, allow that to scan over you. Allow that to turn and personally restore you. Whatever's ailing, you're turning it over to the matrix, the diamond matrix of possibility. Surrendering your need to control it and falling back into that timeless, age-old connection of human, earth, and the galaxy. And a few moments to restore yourself with this diamond prism of light. Self-generated, prismed open by the diamond matrix, established by the beings greater than us, and turned back around full circle to restore ourselves. And any time you want to come back to this image and this journey, to tap back in to what is really, really your true, deepest, ancient truth of the nature of your being, that you are a prism of light, broken, open, and bigger by the diamond crystalline matrix. You can come back to this meditation, this video clip, and find your heart again and dive into the crystal and break yourself wide open again. And break is not really a broken, not meant to be broken, but as in split open into bursting at the seams. You are powerful. We are more than we knew. We can have healing in the world, and we send out our love everywhere it's needed, asking the earth and the stars to join us in that holy vortex. And one nice deep breath as you just allow all of that knowing and that remembering to resonate and echo through your body. And as my teachers say, to integrate and consolidate. Just taking a moment to let that settle and really, really steep ourselves, integrate and consolidate. And then let's just gently bring our awareness back to our breath and bring ourselves back, still open heart, newly expanded, newly remembered. Come back to this time and this place and return. Whoa. I'm always a little bit trippy afterwards. So Pat, you better ground me.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone for, joining us and just being part of this. And for those of you that are coming in later, I want you to know we'll have a version of this, which we will be sending out, asking you to share it. Each of us gets to lean in to the most incredibly powerful parts of ourselves. And every one of us has it. Now it's time to really connect energetically or otherwise. So please, if you want to find out more about this, about blessings, go to drsharonmartin.com. But more importantly, this is about a pathway to energetic freedom. That's what this really is. That's what blessings and prayer really are. They're pathways to this beautiful place of freedom that we sometimes believe only a small amount of people can experience. And today, what Dr. Sharon Martin has done is she has really broken down the barriers of that. So for all of you out there, this is the point in time where we ask all of you to join us to use your healing power. Share this. We'll be sending you a version of this to send out. Share your comments, share your own blessing words, whatever they are. There's no mistakes. Everything is equally powerful. Every one of you is equally powerful. And that's really what we want you to remember, Sharon, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what being maximum is all about.
Yeah. It really is.
Not only energetic freedom, but energetic expansion and potential and power.
Yeah.
As in empowered.
Yeah. Sharon, one last thing. I'd like to know your personal message to people now. Sometimes you get things that come through. What do you want to leave everyone with today? And thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Jessica. Thanks to all of you out there.
Very much so.
What are your final thoughts?
Every day that I step in again to that holy vortex, I am reminded at our possibilities and that things are not hopeless and that we can evolve in a very beautiful, expanded way. And when we open our hearts and allow our connections to expand us, all things are possible, including healing what somebody tells you is a terminal disease, including healing what in the world looks like a terminal disease. So open your hearts, let spirit break you wide open. And that's my blessing for you.
Thank you all for tuning us in. Thank you for listening. You'll hear more about this blessing tomorrow. And again, remember that this is already within you. This is inside of you. This is who we are. All you have to do is ask it to come forth. Thank you, Sharon. It was amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Daniel, Jessica, Dr. Pat, thank you for letting me bring this. Even the crystal and the flowers just brought such magic forward.
Yeah.
it broke my heart wide open. So,
Thank you. We'll see you all next time.
okay.
Bye-bye,
See you,
everyone.
everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Maximum Medicine Radio with Doc Martin. Tune in next time while the doc talks health, spirituality, and the impact your beliefs have on every part of who you are, body and soul. Doc Martin unpacks the challenges we face as human beings and teaches callers to open the door between the scientific and the mystical. To learn more about Doc Martin and Maximum Medicine, visit www.sharonmartinmd.com.